Reboots, remakes, remasters, the 3 R's of gaming in whatever year you're watching this video in. They're ubiquitous. They're seen by many as a creative cop-out, an indicator of creative lack, or as a cynical cash-in on the sweet, sweet nectar of nostalgia. But I'm here to tell you, actually, they're great for games. Now I know what some of y'all are thinking. Movie reboots and remakes generally suck asshole 9 times out of 10. I'm talking about Death Wish, Total Recall, pretty much every live-action Disney reboot. And so all reboots and remakes must be bad by association, am I right? Movie remakes do generally make lots of money, but that's mainly because studios only put out like 80 pictures a year now, and 40% of those are remakes and reboots. So, you know, what other choices do consumers really have here? You know what I'm saying? These revisitations don't generally add anything beyond their original counterparts, except expositional dialogue and at least an extra half hour of uninspired visual effects. How do you improve upon the original RoboCop? That's a rhetorical question. It can't be done. Now you look at the current and future release calendar of upcoming video games, and it seems to be following a similar pattern. A remaster of Final Fantasy VII, the first 3 Dragon Quest titles, Panzer Dragoon, System Shock, Destroy All Humans, SpongeBob SquarePants, Battle for Bikini Bottom, a remake of Resident Evil 2, Link's Awakening, reboot of Call of Duty Modern Warfare, a sequel to the reboot of Doom, presumably a second reboot of Tomb Raider, I'd venture to guess, and a relaunch of WoW Classic even. It's starting to look like the creative drought of Hollywood is bleeding into gaming with no signs of stopping. But hold your horses, buddy. Now we're getting to the heart of why this is good for gamers. We all know that video games have changed and evolved dramatically over the last few decades. Where once we spent dozens of hours happily playing this, we can now look forward to playing a version of that same game which now looks like this. Advancements in technology allow us to revisit or to share experiences and stories that were particularly meaningful to us, with a whole new generation of gamers without them shrieking in horror at this. I'm showing you Lara Croft triangle tits here. Now imagine being 12 years old and playing Link's Awakening for the first time. It's one of my favorite games of all time, and as a tiny boy, I thought it was just about the tightest, most dreamlike little mind freak of a game I've ever crammed into my Game Boy's cartridge hole. I've been trying to talk people into playing this thing for like 25 years. What are they gonna do? Walk into a pawn shop with a fistful of cash and walk out with a busted old Game Boy when they could be walking out with something like this instead? It's a bear that I think it holds salt and pepper shakers, or a tiny chair for a Ninja Turtle, or this bird that has a, is that a 6-inch ruler? Why is it 6 inches? We all have like 100 games in our Steam library that we haven't touched, maybe even a PS4 or Xbox game or two that we bought on Black Friday in a drawer, shrink wrap still on it. There are AAA games coming out year-round on every platform. Am I projecting my own game hoarding tendencies? Yes. Is it still unrealistic to expect gamers who were born in the 2000s with the same enormous library to go track down a dusty-ass old console to play a game that uses mechanics from the 90s just because some old-timer won't shut the hell up about how innovative it was back in the day? Also, yes. And this is why we are so blessed to have Link's Awakening totally remastered and modernized for the Switch, that we have a remastered version of Final Fantasy VIII, that we have Mega Man X collections, that we have a sequel to goddamn Psychonauts coming to modern consoles. We have so many ways for younger gamers to experience these games for the first time, and for old timers to see their beloved classics all dressed up in a way that actually holds up to the way that we saw these games in our imaginations. To see the original creators and those that were inspired to enter the business by those very same creators finally get to fully realize and express all the really cool ideas that the technology of the 90s never would have allowed them to do. Would I like for there to be more wholly original AAA games like Cyberpunk 2077, Death Stranding, and Ghost of Tsushima? Of course I would. Those all look incredible, but I also realize how unrealistic it is to expect that level of genuine uniqueness to come along any more frequently than it already is. And until it does, I'm going to enjoy the hell out of visiting Raccoon City, Midgar, and Koholint, even if I don't know how to pronounce Koholint or Tsushima. And even more than that, I'm going to enjoy having a whole new generation of gamers to share those experiences that I loved and continue to love with today. What games did you love back in the day that you would love to see remade, or rebooted, or reimagined, or refried, or whatever? Let us know in the comments below, and thanks for watching. I'm your pal Jeremy. I'll see you in hell.